trying this out again. I'm really hoping that because... no, that's not correct. One second. I'm really hoping that because I'm not recording, that this will go better. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see if this is also a slideshow. And if it is, I'm gonna have to cancel and figure out what's going on. Because what I'd like to do is just figure out what this is. It's already a little bit faster. Ooh, no, it's not. Computer what? I used to stream quite often, so how frustrating this is being a thing. So what I can do is make this fishes, because I don't think having like a plank of something just doesn't really make sense. So become fish. Become fish. Fishes in the front can feel real nice. So we're just gonna put location of fishes right now. You can see originally I knew something had to go up here to bring it back into the picture, because you always want to think about where the like eye is moving. And oh, thank goodness, it looks like we're not a slideshow, so it was recording. That was my problem. I don't really need to record because YouTube should save this for me. But as you can see, I want to keep us inside of this painting. If your eye drifts off and just leaves, then it's really easy to just scroll past it. But if I keep your eye pinned in here, then we're in go mode, basically. Let me get rid of some of this just to make the layers cleaner. By the way, I've noticed that's a new thing, to call your art clean. Is that like a Gen Z thing? Or is it like a joke about how a lot of like NFT, what do you call them? I want to say NFT criminals, but they're like those like spam bots. There you go. Always go like, oh, your art is so clean. I want to, can I make an NFT out of it type of thing, which never say yes to those people. But they're always trying to do their scam over on Instagram. So fishes is what's going to be the game over here. Because we're in the sea, and I want it to feel a little bit like a coral reef. Because first of all, this is going to be beautiful, and also it'll go really well with my illustration of girl of the story that this is related to, who is in more of like, she's like on the ground, more coral reefy, not on like a ship. This is honestly kind of a lot of stuff that I've set myself in to do. Alright, and now that I know that this is working pretty well on YouTube, I'm gonna really quickly, oopsies, share this link just so I can post it over to, what do you call that thing? Instagram. Let me close this on my phone and then very quickly do that. 1 second. Let me just change the camera position. And we're live on YouTube. I can do that because I know I have no viewers right now, so I can do embarrassing things. Link it to my Instagram stories. Alright, next, let's look up some fish. Because there's a lot of really good fish out there that I could do, and I should probably pay attention to this arm first. I should. But I feel like I need to get the composition nailed down before I really move forward. And schools of fishes can look really neat, but they probably are a little bit more variegated. Like I have them out very neatly and tidy. And that's probably what they are. So I'm gonna go to Google and look at school of fish. And this is on my phone, so you won't be able to see what I'm doing here. We're gonna get a lot of really inspirational videos. I could have a... Because like this doesn't inspire me. And if it's not inspiring you, don't leave it in. I can always crop it off if I decide to. It could be that what I need to change is just this bar right here. We're kind of in like a stage, but like if I do a school of fish, like right here, that could be really fun. And so they kind of a spiral school, and that will still keep our eye on him. Might have to move it over a little bit. Whoops, that's right. The bottom is also attached to this layer. I want to try out little things like that. What if the school rotated over here? That might be better, actually. And we could also, because right now we're kind of like deep sea, it doesn't really make sense to have, I do kind of want light to go through the school. It might not make sense. Oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? My... Okay, this needs to come back over here. Come on. So fun fact, I'm using Intuos Pro Medium, and there is a button. What's this button? Oh, I found a really good button. That's not the button I need. All right, we need to not step backward. 1 second as I turn this into, where'd it go? This is a nice little education about the Intuos. What this used to do is the virtual desktop, left and right, switch application. That isn't what I want. What's it called? I'm afraid to do it because what if it's wrong? Nah, settings shouldn't be it. Touch on off is the top one. This got changed. Why would this happen while I'm streaming? Good thing no one's here to see me not remember how to turn to snap window. It must be virtual desktop, right? Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. It didn't do anything. I don't even know how I managed that. Okay. Display toggle. I did it! I'm back. Alright. My display toggle used to be changed from a button that no longer does that, and I need to turn it back. Whatever. We'll go back here to layers and we'll just focus on this. So fishes doing their school thing back here seems really cool. Problem is that this isn't in front of him, and I would like it to be. I want to have something kind of in the foreground. And these fishes are going behind his head, which, I'll be real, I didn't really want that. So maybe this isn't the school of fish for me. You can also just have it be an orb. Sometimes fishes are in a scary orb. What if he was like a giant whale? Giant whale coming back here. Then we could add a little bit of like scale and it would be really cool. So this is a possibility. Should I put a giant whale right there? Problem is, giant whale doesn't make the shape I need. Maybe an orca could. tend to be fairly blued out. Again, that's background. Hey, what? Okay, there we go. Alright. I want to have something foreground, I think. Looking at my inspo here. And I could always just do... just a few fish. And have them be about this spot. And that's kind of fun. Because this leaves that way, this leaves that way, there's a symmetry there. It could even be interacting with him a little bit. Because he is looking up, so like maybe there is something here. I don't think so though. I do want to give the impression of deep sea. Oh no, I got rid of the doohickey down here. It's okay, it wasn't a finished doohickey. So I'm gonna look at a shipwreck really fast. A shipwreck. Let's get inspo. And when you're looking at inspo, you don't want to copy it directly, and you want to think about logic. Like, I do have a wheel right here, because originally this was just a square, and I knew I wanted to put a shipwreck wheel somewhere in it. But over here, it probably wouldn't be a wheel. It'd probably be more like the railing of a ship. And so the railing could go like this, and I am using a color that is dark, but not black, you know, because when I do illustration, I tend to leave that until the end. It's like a very stylized decision. I think it does a good job. I feel like that didn't make sense with the... maybe like that. Then we have this right here. I need something there. I could also make a very inorganic shape, and so we could, because I'm looking at some of these shipwrecks, and they kind of have a lattice thing, kind of like those cereals. I probably shouldn't be thinking of cereal when I look at a shipwreck, but it has that vibe, you know? Of like crusty junk. That seems a little busy though. So no, will not. It could be a simple solution, like maybe there's a treasure chest. Oh, a treasure chest. Oh, a treasure chest. The line of the chest, there could be like jewelry on it, like brings you back that direction. Oh my gosh, is this a treasure chest right here? Say there's a lot of contrast on this treasure chest. It feels very strange, actually. I don't like that treasure chest. Now what about another mast? Regrettably, it's going to bump into some parts of him that I like to look at. But this could be a really nice piece of interest. It would have to be much bigger too. Goodness, looks like a mess. You don't know until you try it. I walked into this thinking, I've got everything. It'll be fine. Surely I won't decide to erase half of like trying. But that is what happens. Okay, let's see. This is what we did before. Like that. What if it was like a stair type of thing? You know, I kind of like the idea of it being a barnacle covered thing. And we can make a brush to make it look more barnacly. Barnacly. Let me look in my brushes to see if I have anything that has a lot of texture to it. If not, I can put texture on. Actually, let me do that. I'll show you how. You can put texture in your own brush that you're using. And for this one, we're going to do a little bit of scatter. Just to kind of play around with the fact that this is rusting and falling apart. I don't want it to look all that correct. Mind you, this is kind of a lot of scatter, but I want it to look like there's a bit of growth here. I might use like emboss or something to make it look even more. Very artificial. I had it right there. We're gonna keep this type of brush out. Could be like a net. Oh, it's a net. What if I just do a net? What if I just do a net? That could be a wonderful piece of texture. And the patterning in nets can bring us back into here. Ooh, real fish vibes. Real sea vibes. Problem is it still looks like I definitely intended it for it to be there. Like if this was an Alphonse Mucha, that'd be fine. That's another boat. Alright, let's think abstractly. Do I need anything there at all? Is my problem that I need to edit down? And that usually is the answer. In illustration, it is shocking how often the answer is don't do it. I did want to challenge myself with stuff in the foreground, but maybe that stuff needs to just be not here. You know what I mean? I don't really like that adage that you have to have something in the foreground, background to make rooms. If it is in fact distracting, I think that this room should just be empty. Solved it. I solved the problem. Alright, so let's focus on this shipwreck. And let's focus on his arm. Let's do his arm first. Now that I feel like pretty happy about this picture and where it was going. Took me a little longer to get to that solution, but you know, what's this layer 2? Okay. It's not, it's layer 4. It is. So to draw this, I take reference from a couple different places. This one is my own arm. I don't look like this man at all, but it's super easy to just take a picture of yourself, and I highly recommend it if you're just like, you need it really fast. And if it's of like a hand, where this is like a merman hand, so it's not going to be a normal hand. Like I'm gonna actually make it a little bit greenish, like this. Oh, a lot of Undertale in this little playlist I pulled up, and I'm not gonna lie, I love that. I think this is Deltarune, isn't it? So in the original, the way I like to block in hands of painting It might look like I'm just smushing paint around, but I'm actually thinking about the outside shape of what I'm drawing and triangulating angles of each of like the kind of bony spots. Like there's these landmarks that you kind of pick out as you're drawing. So for me, I have a landmark right here, which is this glowy spot of his hand. And I know that if I go this direction, like if I was to take my stylus and hold it up in front of my eye, in front of my reference that I took, I know if I go that direction, like this, I will get to the bottom of the finger down here, and from that finger I can get to a reference over here by doing that. And then the idea is you check that by triangulating back. Does this actually go back to the original spot where you started? And if it does, then you have the outside of your shape. And that's like a really good art skill to have. I think, like, honestly, of the things I learned in school, learning how to see and to kind of start having like less trust, or, well, I know that hands do this type of thing, and to see things for what they are instead of as symbols, instead of as like the assumptions that we make about the body and the way it looks, and to learn to just measure and check everything, I think has made me a much better painter. Because the truth is, I don't know freaking anything. Everyone's body's a little bit different. So always check all those things with a really quick triangulation check. So these right here are the knuckles, this is the hands, fingers down here. I'm actually probably going to lengthen it from my own. I'm debating if he should have like webbed hands. His hands are kind of curled under right now. I think I will start with not webbing the fingers, seeing how it goes. He doesn't really have webbed fingers normally. This is like my little, I guess they call them OCs. But it's for a project I've been working on. And so I've been drawing him in a bunch of different ways for like social media and things like that. And so these will come down, like kind of pivot towards this angle here. And I don't want it to be too messy. As you can see, we have ourselves a hand now. Oh, it's nice and monstery, which is a little bit of what I want. I will say I don't think there's enough mystery in this picture. I don't want it to look boring. I want it to really grab people's attention because I work hard for those TikTok views of, you know, the 200 basic views that TikTok gives everyone. I'm honestly a little bit confused by how that website works, but I'm there. I'm physically there. Alright. Next, we want to kind of like... I've been treating this as like folds. Like I do have folds on my clothes, and that makes a fold here. But I don't want to do too much because it might look a little bit phallic. So we're not gonna... we're gonna make this a little bit less detail right there. We got gills down here. That's where I want the gills. Fish gills are sure a thing. I always put my mermaid gills down here on the stomach because I feel like you naturally have a bit of a line there because of that arc. Might as well just put it right there. That's where the gills go. We can put them up here. I've been seeing people do that just to like censor their work because like the problem I ran into. For some reason, I think because people use an AI algorithm to sense if your work is appropriate or not, they just don't really want to care or want to anymore. It's not a human check, basically. There's other things too I won't dive into, but that's a good looking hand. I actually really like how that came out, like a lot. Let's look at this fin. Fin, next. Fin. I am going in the wrong, well, there's no wrong direction. But if I was doing like a really nice oil illustration, this is digital, so I can do stuff like this. You want to do the background first? What also happens is if you start in the background, your foreground stuff is really going to pop. It's really going to look like it's really coming out of the foreground. It is funny how that works. But I didn't do that because I just didn't feel like it. Fin on a fish. Fin on a fish. Ooh, I have a good idea. So I do have this fluorescent stuff, and I think I should use it. What I'd like to do is to make that fin look a little bit more translucent. So we can ignore the fluorescents, we'll draw them back, it'll be fine. Whenever you're doing art, remember that if you drew it once, you can draw it again. So do not be afraid or ashamed to delete what you've done, because you can do it again. You're okay. So I'm looking at, it's actually like the wing fin of a fish. And what I want it to do is I want this to look kind of see-through, but with the same kind of see-through pattern this fish has here, where it's just kind of plasticky. It's really, really interesting to me. Like that's from a character design perspective, a really cool fin, kind of like understated. It would be on every fish. I've never really noticed it before. Oh, I'm remembering now why I gave up streaming for a while. Where's my throat? Oh boy, my throat. I'll be fine. I have my water over here. I think I've only been going for a little while too. So to make this look a little bit plasticky and dense, I'm gonna try and bring in kind of a little bit of thickness to the edges here. See how that goes. Then there's all of this cool lighting that's done, and we can do this with the screen maybe. And in some spots it's like white. Let's see if this works. I might not be capturing it exactly. It might take a couple tries. Art is not perfect the first time. I might also be using kind of the wrong technique. Like right now I'm like, oh, I'll just use screen, but as you can see, it looks like it's glowing more than that it's kind of thick and plasticky and kind of shiny. And shiny is what I'm going for. Because this stuff in the middle is kind of see-through, but also kind of shiny. But instead it just looks like it's glowing, which is fine, but I'm not getting the actual texture that I wanted. So let's pare it back. Take that off screen, bring it to normal. We can pare things back by just taking a soft brush, going over it, and be like, okay, let me think about this from far away. I'm looking at my reference, and I'm just kind of blurring my eyes a little bit, and I'm literally blurring this a little bit to be like, how come that looks kind of plasticky and this just looks like a little bit like hair now? And you kind of go back and forth. Never be afraid to go over the lines. That's how Singer Sargent did it, and he's a better painter than all of us. While I try to figure out the plasticky look. I mean, it looks, I'll be honest, this looks pretty good right now. I don't even know what video game this is from. A little bit of QVC vibes. Early morning television vibes. Well, kids know what that is anymore. These are the vibes it had. Okay, so that's feeling a little bit plasticky. It just seems it's not exactly there. Its head, like on the tips of it, is a little bit lighter. Maybe not that light. But we'll make it kind of light just to figure out the vibes of this. It's so interesting to me and I really want to capture it. This is not capturing it. You know what also might help it is the fact that this is very light at the top. So let's try that strategy. Remembering to paint what I see, not what I know, not my assumptions. A lot of painting is letting go of what you know. You don't know what an eye looks like. You don't know what a fish looks like. Let go of it. And embrace what you are seeing from your reference. Does this look like my reference? Not yet. We're going to muddy the colors a little bit. As I am trying to like a bedtime music. I mean, it's chill, alright, but I want to fall asleep myself. I have to do a stream. No, I would change it if I still had my quick key. What did I do to turn off quick keys on my Intuos? I've never... I have to look that up. We're gonna muddy these colors, make them mud. And then try to bring out brightness, the plastickiness of fish. And then later I can color match it a little bit better. I think I have the right texture for my brush. I think that's correct. What video game is this? Maybe Pokemon or something? Uh-oh, my hands. Stretch break. Time for a stretchy stretch break. This one I want to say is Kingdom Hearts. I could be wrong. It has Kingdom Hearts vibes though. Maybe it isn't though. I feel like I know the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack pretty good because during long COVID, I got really into watching randomizers because I couldn't play video games myself, and there were like randomizer tournaments, which is pretty good sports if you're not a sports person anymore. Used to be. Used to play a couple sports. But yeah, randomizers, man. The one they do for Kingdom Hearts is really fascinating. That just looks like it's glowing. Maybe because that's a little bit too bright. I cannot figure out how the light hits this. How about I choose a different one? And maybe that one will help me figure out how to bring in this sensation of like translucence and plastic. Like this is a pretty beta fish is always the famous one. But there is like a kind of like a almost cloth-like texture happening in some of these that I love. It's so cool. We're gonna step that back. We're gonna try a new direction. I'll grab some of the colors from here, because this has like a very peacock, like the reference I'm looking at. It's very peacock type textures. This one's a little, I think, easier to manage to replicate. It's not the plasticky look though. Never got it, never figured it out. It's okay, I don't have to figure these things out. No one will know. Just me and all of you. Well, probably no one. It being my first stream, I ignored YouTube for a very long time. But I'm here now. I've heard that it has more art, more accessible for artists than Twitch was. Because I kind of stopped Twitch streaming because it took a long time. Well, it didn't. It was a time that I could have spent making stuff without having to record it. And now it's like not even an option. I have to record pretty much everything because of the way social media works now. So what's the point of not streaming? I'll just stream and then YouTube will make a recording and I'll take it and use it for later in short video stuff. I assume YouTube makes a recording. If it doesn't, man oh man. So this is a much easier fishtail to make. It is mostly just the back and forth work. And what I'm trying to do is make these look like folds. If I had like a very, very, I forget what the term is in cloth, but like the draping has a lot of pleats and it's not very thick. And when that happens, you just get a lot of folds and everything. Oops. And so we're gonna try to make these folds look neat and tidy. Just like so. I'll be honest, this looks pretty good. So I'm not unhappy, even though I didn't figure out that plasticky thing, which will have to be a study I'll do later. It just didn't happen. This is fine. And remember, Singer Sargent goes outside the lines, so should you. Of course, it depends on if you're doing like watercolor or not, you know. You actually can erase with watercolor. You can do like damage control with watercolor. But it's so much easier to just take the background and go over your lines a little bit. And it looks so much cleaner. The edges that you do in your art is what really separates your work from the work of like a professional. I say that as a professional. Like sometimes I do work where it's like, wasn't very professional. I'm just pushing it out to get it out. But paying attention to these edges is how it's done. It's how you make something really pop and look really good. And some edges are purposefully not blended. And so I'm with you kind of want to contrast with blended edges and not blended when it comes to painting. Obviously, if you're just doing line work, it wouldn't really be that way. But you can have really a powerful image by doing that. I don't really like this color. Green overlay will help. Maybe this color. We're zooming way out so that we can get a sense of what went down here. The reference is just very green, and I don't know if that is the green I want or the green that I need. That darkened it a lot. like it needs a little bit more saturation, a little bit more color. A bit more green. That's nice. It does feel a little bit flat. And so when we bring in other colors, like this purple for instance, that might help unflatten the piece. And as you can see, it's on its own layer. And so we have to go in and fix that stuff over here. Because I didn't do the background before doing the foreground, which I already went over that. But this is now feeling a little bit flat. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a little bit of color dodge. This is the spicy stuff. And I'm going to act as if there is like light falling here. Because I see that on my reference and I think it looks so pretty. And that is part of why I picked it up. I just have to make sure that these are treated like folds and close so that it looks like a fish tail. And as you can see, it just really hits. The light hits. It's a little bit of light. Does a lot of work. Color dodge is really great. I didn't used to use it because I always thought it was kind of like cheesy. And I noticed a lot of people were using it. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't feel so bad. I mean, if everyone does it, then it's okay, and I can't go to jail. So you don't have to go to jail for using this because they'll never find you. There's too many people running the red light, so to speak, and using color dodge to make things pop. They can't catch you. They'll never catch you. So keep doing this. It works. It sells things really well. You want to be careful about how much you use it, of course. But I mean, look at the dimension I'm getting. It's like putting sequins on stuff. It's so nice. There's a little bit of right here. I need to connect these a little bit better. I don't want it all over. Be a little bit careful I don't blow it out. You can very easily blow it out. Oh, I love this song. Octopath Traveler had a stunning soundtrack. Did it? I think it did. I'm gonna simulate just shadow a little bit. Got a little bit of shadow from here. Layers, so I can't do glue. Glue? I can't do glue right there. You can also do it just on him if I really want to make him pop. Be very careful about using this on skin though. It will pop off. But we do need to make him pop a little bit. Isn't that right, Mr. Joe? This in particular, the hair just... When you're doing white hair, you have to start very subtle. I really want it to make it look like the light is like very precise in where it lands. And of course, I mean, look at the blue right here. I think I've already got color dodge on this a little bit. I could put like some sort of fishy pose on him. That's a possibility. Oh, I'm looking over at looking over at my display over in OBS, and little bit concerned. It looks like it blew out the color. I'll find out when I look on YouTube if this is just pale white, which would be actually a problem. Well, I think it's been about an hour. Let me look at my recording time. My lifetime says 45 minutes. That means I've been doing this for about an hour. I think that's a good place to stop and then look at it to make sure if any of that was salvageable. If you're watching this in post, I hope it was a chill time, and I hope you at least learned a little bit about fins and about how sometimes your first idea doesn't work out and your second idea was a million times better anyway. And about how you shouldn't always draw inside the lines, and about how to triangulate stuff and to remember that you don't know what anything looks like. That's why we choose reference when we're doing a realistic painting. And also, just to have a nice day. Hope you have a good one. I'll turn off the stream once I figure out how I do that. Because now it's a different button. Oh, is that the button? It used to be so easy, let me tell you. All right, now I'm stopping the stream. Thank you, and have a good day.